buddies. Back to you, Jim. Different top celebrity. Top celebrity.
Hey everybody, Matt here from Aroundsquare. Just wanted to do another little video to introduce the stuff that's coming up in our September 2021 product launch. Got a lot to cover here and I'm going to try and go fast. I seldom succeed at that, but we'll see where we get. For starters, this is something I'm really excited about. I've been working on this for a long time and it's finally ready for launch. This is our new custom Kevlar cord. Okay, this is designed to be a alternative slash replacement for products that would normally get strung up on 275 paracord or the Sterling Ropes 2mm accessory cord. I still really like, in particular, the Sterling Ropes cord. It's a really good product. But I wanted to give folks an option, and I've been really looking at the Kevlar as something that I think has a lot of potential for a few different products that we do. So a little bit about this. This is a fully custom product. There aren't a lot of factories that deal in Kevlar, and the ones that do want to sell it by the ton. So it took some convincing, but we managed to find a factory that was willing to do custom braid for us. So this is a totally like bespoke product, like purpose built for our stuff. And you know, I think it's probably unlike anything else that's out there on the market, at least anything that I've found. So what it is a 12-strand weave, which allows us to get a round weave rather than the squarish or rectangular stuff that is available like on Amazon and so on. I like that stuff enough that I used it when we first launched the long form ultras. And it worked fine for most of the beads, but it didn't work as well for the lighter beads. So I kept pursuing this custom stuff. And compared to the stuff that's online, this stuff has finer I guess like threads that go into it, and that makes a tighter weave. So it's less of a coarse weave, and it's a higher density. So this is what is it now? It's like 3.4 grams per meter. So it's I don't even have a clue what the test strength is, but you know, for sure it's not gonna break under the weight of our toys anyways. This stuff is really great. I've been using it for a couple of months since we first got the samples in on my own personal set of long form titanium ultras. With the previous cord that we were using, I found the titanium was a little bit too light, and as the cord got a little bit old, the beads were starting to hang on the cord and not go down quite as smooth. But this stuff, 2 months in, the cord still works beautifully. It's like a little bit like, it's lighter in color, but it's got like a velvety texture. So this stuff, it ages in a really nice way. And so you could call it fraying, like it is, I guess, technically, like the threads are wearing, but it's doing it in a really soft and I'd say kind of an elegant way. It's filling gracefully, so to speak. And you know, the 2 months in, it still performs perfectly with the titanium ultras. So I guess I'll lead into that as our first product. So this month, or I guess our second product, because I do plan to sell this stuff in probably like 3-meter hanks or some kind of a convenient size. But the first like kind of bead product that we've got this month is the long form titanium Nano ultras. Okay, and so these guys are a 33 bead setup plus a boss bead 15 millimeters plus 2 extra nanos on the end for the tassel. So this is my own set. I've done it up with a Zircuti boss, but what we're going to be stocking in the store will be these guys with the 15 millimeter titanium boss bead. Okay, and it's a great set for raindrops, of course. The long forms really excel with raindrops, but the titanium ones are actually light enough to really flip around and do your rolls and stuff with. It's they're surprisingly nimble despite their long shape. And what I really like about the ultras, or sorry, the long form ultras, is putting them on the wrist with a double loop, and you don't need as long of a distance between the lock bead and the knot. So if I wanted to get rid of the tassel altogether, I could get this onto my wrist with just a very short piece that is like totally nice and out of the way. I like the tassel, and I find like it doesn't bother me having it hang down to my knuckle area. But just to get it off, you only need to slip it down this much, and then you've got a little bit of slack that you can pull off from the second loop, and then you can slide it off your hand. Okay, so I find these convenient to wear, to take on and off, but I often just carry them in my pocket as well, because I kind of like having the end just hanging out, and then I can grab them whenever I want them. All right, so that's the Thai Nano Longform Ultras. Stepping over slightly, we're also going to, for the first time, launch a 8mm bead set. So same issue, when we first launched the long form sets, I found the 8mm beads were just a little too light on that other cord, and as that cord, with its coarser weave, as it got older, it kind of expanded, and the way it frayed created too much friction, so the 8mm beads weren't dropping nicely. But I've been, I'm several weeks into this set here and loving it. The beads are still dropping perfectly smoothly. And I'm actually really liking having this 41 bead setup. So the 8mm beads, we've bumped it up to 41 because they're just that much smaller. So to get kind of a similar kind of length of beads, that's what it takes. And it wraps nice, wear it on the wrist. It's, again, these 8mm sets, the long form sets, they all wear really good on the wrist. Okay, I find. Anyways, so these guys are going to be available, same setup, 41 beads, plus a 15mm lock bead, plus 2 more 8mm beads on the tassel. And these guys are going to ship on the new Kevlar Cord. All right. I haven't decided yet on whether or not this month we're going to be launching the long form 8mm sets in other metals. So here's my own personal copper set that I've done up as a tester, and I've done it with a Mokume Gane 15mm boss bead. So I don't know, these are great. It's just because we've got so many other things going on this month, I'm not sure that we'll be able to launch these. Because in order to get them really ready, I want to be able to tumble the beads and get them looking all sharp and nice. So if not this month, then probably some month down the road before too long. Okay. Then now sticking with the Kevlar Cord, I also want to go in and have a look at another set that's going to be shipping on them. And that is with a new bead. These beads are the ones that we're calling the commons, and they are 11 by 11, 11 millimeters diameter by 11 in height, and the beads themselves are about 3.8 grams each. Okay, so these are similar to the original, the OG size MKUltras that we first launched. 17 beads in a set. This particular set is, I've just done up as an example. This is on the Sterling Ropes cord, but these are actually going to ship on the Kevlar Cord as well. My own personal set is on the, this one. My own personal set is on the Kevlar Cord, and I'm really liking it. It's perfect, it's fine for the weight. The Kevlar Cord, I should say, the Kevlar Cord is way easier to thread into the boss beads, and it holds things secure, but it doesn't tighten up the same way that the boss beads do on the Sterling Ropes cord. So this stuff, I'm over time, I'm liking it. It's the performance has if it's changed, it's negligible. It still holds tight. You can see if I pull really hard, I can get it to slide down. But as far as just wearing it on your wrist, it's totally fine, and you don't have to struggle to tighten it up or loosen it. Okay. So that's the Kevlar Cord and the fit on the boss beads. Now, like I said, this particular set is done up on the Sterling Ropes cord, but when these ship, they'll ship with a strand of the Sterling Ropes cord for people who want to replace the Kevlar with it, but they'll also ship with the Kevlar cord installed and a spare piece of Kevlar cord. Okay. Anyways, these beads, I'm loving them. I love the clack. I love the shape and the feel. For bead counting, it's very comfortable. They're not finicky like some of the small beads for bead counting are suboptimal, right? But these they feel substantial, and the shape is really nice. The rounding on the beads is really comfortable. So I'm really liking these on the Ultras. I'm also really liking them on the thin cord as begleri. Okay, so this is my own set, and this is a set that I had strung up from the initial factory samples, which are with an orange peel finish. The actual production beads are a polished finish, which I actually prefer. We may do orange peel stuff in the future, but it's more costly as a finish, and I actually don't like it as much. I really like the polished. So these are going to ship on the Kevlar cord, but the beads themselves have a 3.5 millimeter bore, so they're actually fine on 550 as well. So for people that like 550, don't worry, these beads will still work for you. It's a little bit of a tighter fit with a 3.5 millimeter bore. They don't slide down and drop. So similar to, we have a lot of products that are with a 3.5 millimeter. We call it the Goldilocks bore because it works with different sizes of cord. But I'd really encourage people to give it a try on the new Kevlar cord. It's just a very springy, light, fun kind of feel on this cord, and like I said, I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of like, it's just make begleri fun again, right? It's just a fun different feel, and I don't know, it's almost like springy. Although the cord itself is not a dynamic cord. It's static, but it just feels nice and springy and zippy. Anyways, for people who are interested in the Kevlar but aren't sold on the thin cord, we're actually also working on a thicker cord. This is comparable to 550. You can see. So this is not a production piece yet. This is a sample, but I've been playing it, and it's also really nice as a alternative. So yeah, we're probably going to order some of this in bulk as well, and it's got the same kind of 12 strand round weave for a nice feel. Okay, so let's see. I think that's it for Kevlar related. I'm gonna slide over to talk about these guys. For the first time, we've actually been able to get our hands on some jumbo-sized jade bodies in green. We've had jumbo in white, and we've had green in other sizes, but this is the first time we've had the jumbos in green, and it's the first time I've ever seen them in this size. So they're big. They're the same size as our other jumbos. I believe it's 12 millimeters in height and 14 in diameter. And I've got these guys paired with a etched mokumegane 15 millimeter bead. They'll also be available with the polished mokumegane. Both are beautiful. I'm kind of digging the etch finish. Just it makes the grain pop initially, but over time, even the polished ones. This is a polished one here. You can see the grains coming out as the patina starts to show through. Anyways, so these guys are going to be available. We've got a decent supply of them, and we've got a decent supply of the mokumegane finally. So we're going to be offering the accent packs in mokumegane as well this month. Okay, on to other elegant items. These guys. Okay, so this is bronze and ebony wood mini hydras. We've had these available in the past, but we ran out of the bronze beads, and I took ages to restock them, but I've got them now. And in the process of doing that, I decided I would also give copper a try. So we're going to do copper mini hydras alongside the bronze mini hydras, and both are paired with the ebony wood. So it's a nice weight. I can't remember exactly, but when you pair, like, the ebony weighs almost nothing, and when you pair it with the heavier metal, it comes out in a weight that's like very playable. It's similar to the titanium weight, I believe. Okay, and we're also restocking these guys here. These were available in the old Squarespace shop for a while. This is stainless steel and aluminum. So 4 stainless steel beads would be really hefty to play, but when you pair it with the aluminum, it's a nice nimble weight. And these guys here have the one bead that's got the word mark on it, and one bead that's unmarked. All right. So I believe that's it for begleri. Oh no, not quite. Sticking with the mini hydras, we got these guys. Okay. So this is our Zerk and Ice Slatacular. We restocked the Zerk beads a while ago, and we've had the ice beads in stock, but the Slataculars, the big packages that have all of the different colors and all the different options, these were out of stock for ages because I was out of stock on the bronze mini hydras. Since we've restocked them, we're finally able to offer the full Slatacular. with the 4 bead option of Zirc or the just 2 beads in Zirc. And so for people that are wanting to sort of rocket up the size of their collection, these will do that for you. Lots of options to mix and match, and different metals. They'll come with some other metal beads to mix and match, so you can make use of all of these acrylic beads and come up with some nice combinations for yourself. All right, so that's these guys, and that may be it for bead related stuff. Now over to the deadeyes. So it's been a while since we've launched a new deadeye version, and I've been teasing these online. We're calling these the hollow eyes. So they're a deadeye variant that has no center, and surprisingly, these were actually a prototype that I created ages ago, before the deadeyes ever launched. I have a Shapeways print that's like more than 3 years old on these guys. When I first launched the deadeyes, I was experimenting with different wearable setups, and I thought this might be fun. And just on a whim, I did up the design and had it printed. And I liked it. I found it intriguing and playable, but at the time, I was trying to establish this idea of contact coin manipulation and the isolations and stuff. And I thought, well, like this is a little bit of a deviation from the idea of a coin. So we launched the original deadeye and the wearable with a smaller hole and so on. And I kind of set this aside on the shelf for it was several years, until I was mucking around with rings a few months ago, and I was starting to do the ring manipulation and starting to think about the Griffin rules and stuff. And then I recalled that I actually had a prototype deadeye, and so I dug it out, and it really clicked for me after getting into the rings. So I thought it's actually time to bring that back. So we're going to launch it. We've got it coming in all of the different metals, but the other metals, the brass ones and the copper ones in particular, there was a bit of an issue with the shape after they had polished it. So I've sent them back for another round of samples and told the factory to try harder, and they're doing that. So we'll be launching the other metals later. Currently, we just have the titanium, grade 5 titanium in a polished finish or a sandblasted finish. As many of you know, the polished has a little bit more grip to it. The sandblasted is a little bit although it's a little bit of a rough texture, but it feels smoother to manipulate because it doesn't grip the skin the same way a slick finish does. Okay, so that's the dead eyes. And last, we have a couple of knuckle bone related things. So got these guys, mini and micro titanium knuckle bones, and these are for the first time going to be available in a polished finish. So we got the mini micro polished. Everything else about them is the same weight, same material, same logo etching, and so on. But some people, a lot of people really like the stainless steel with the polished finish in these sizes, and I thought, well, there's no harm in I was restocking the other ones anyways, and so I decided to do some in the polished finish. And they're really nice. Depending on what the climate is like and how sticky your hands get, you may prefer this or you may prefer the sandblasted ones. But I'm really liking them. I've got a sandblasted mini that I love, and I've put a polished micro into my kind of regular rotation because I'm quite liking playing the micro size with just that little bit of extra stick to it so that it doesn't fall between the fingers. Yeah. All right. And last thing, we've got finally a new color of the acrylic ice bones. So see if you can see that. There we go. So this is a turquoise color. We had a heck of a time. I wanted to launch this ages ago, but had a heck of a time with the dye that we were using, getting the turquoise color and the greens. For whatever reason, those ones were not taking very well with the acrylic material. But we have mucked around with different formulas and finally got it to work. So we've got a nice batch of the ice bones in turquoise. So we restocked the ice bones. We ran through our first order, which was like 50 kilograms, and we've reordered. We've got something like 100 kilograms of ice bones now. So it's kind of funny when these things start being sold by the bulk weight rather than by the unit number. But anyways, that's how we roll. So I think that's everything for this month. And drop time is going to be this coming Friday. I think it's the September 24th at 7 p.m. for Pacific time, 7 p.m. Pacific time for public. And if you're on the email list and have the password, you'll be able to get in an hour earlier. So quickly go over there and sign up for the email list if you don't already get the emails from us. All right, more details to come in the email. It should go out later today, I'm hoping. And yeah, see you all Friday. If you have any questions, I'll try to respond in the comments or hit me up online. I'll do my best. No promises. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.